Right now, I am joined by Sebastian Gorka, Deputy Assistant to the President. Sebastian, we're going to get to Mosul and the G20, but first I want to start with the New York Times report that Rob Goldstone sent an email to Don Trump Jr. before last June's meeting, making it clear that he was being offered damaging information about Hillary Clinton that was part of a Russian government effort. What's your take on that?
Look, I think Donald Jr.'s statements stand for themselves. An individual who at the time had no connection to the Russian government requested a meeting under false pretenses. Once the discussion began and this individual started to talk incoherently, the topic changed to the issue of Russian adoptions, which was a very hot item under the Obama administration. And at that point, the meeting ended. And I think the very important thing is not just the statements from Mr. Trump Jr., but the fact that after that meeting, there was no other connection, no phone calls, no further meetings, because this individual did not meet in good faith. Donald Trump Jr. is not part of the administration, and so this is a massive nothing burger.
Paul Manafort, whether or not Don Jr. is part of the administration, Jared Kushner absolutely is, and Paul Manafort is well versed in this. Earlier this morning, exclusively, NBC spoke to that Russian lawyer who said Donald Trump Jr. wanted this information, damaging information on Hillary Clinton, very badly. Is she lying?
I have no idea. I've never met the woman, but I do know for a fact that Democratic Party operatives went to the Ukrainian embassy to coordinate oppositional research and attacks against our campaign. So that's a story. That's not somebody meeting under false pretenses to talk about another issue. That is Democratic operatives meeting with representatives of another government, not people who say they're from another country, people from another government.
Hillary Clinton didn't win the election. Many of her overseas ties are reasons why people
crimes aren't committed.
Okay,
I mean,
so
this is what I find fascinating.
All right, so sir, if you want to make the argument that crimes were committed by Democrats, then if Donald Trump Jr. accepted a meeting like this and wanted this type of information with ties to a foreign government, would that also not be a crime?
I'm talking about the fact that you had a presidential candidate called Hillary Clinton running for the highest office in this country and the most powerful office in the world, when her husband was getting $500,000 speaking fees from the Russian government, not meetings with Russian nationals, $500,000 worth of payment from Russia.
Two wrongs don't make a right. So put Hillary Clinton.
No, that's illegal. That's pay for play. That's pay for play. When you are having meetings with individuals who are giving you money and your wife is in control of the sale of 20% of your, can I finish? It's 20% of America's uranium to Russia. That's a story. Let's talk about that.
Sir, that story, that uranium story, whatever in it you want to believe, are one of the reasons people did not want to vote for Hillary Clinton. But pay for play and those issues were issues that the Trump campaign harped on so desperately. So why would Paul Manafort, Jared Kushner, Donald Trump Jr. take a meeting like this? And by the way, if it was about opposition research, why would Donald Trump Jr. not come clean with that on Saturday and say this is how campaigns run? To give us this story about orphans when 2 days later, yep, we wanted information on her. Why? Explain this to me, please.
Well, I think you should probably ask Donald Trump Jr., but if I was in his position, I'd say very simply, because that meeting was not organized in good faith. The person who requested it had an ulterior motive, not from the one they indicated, which is a standard one, collecting negative information on your political opponent. Every party does that. But when it turns out she hasn't got any and she wants to talk about adoption, that's why this is a very, very complicated story, and one in which the individual who requests the meeting is not acting in good faith.
So if she had the goods, would you feel better about it?
Well, it's standard political practice. You think the Democratic Party didn't collect? I mean, Hillary Clinton collected opposition research on
It is not standard political practice to seek information from a foreign government.
Would you like to talk about Mosul, or would you like to continue talking about nothing burger story when the Hillary campaign collects dirt on Bernie Sanders? What, is that unusual?
then why wouldn't Donald Trump Jr. say that on Saturday, number one? And it is not appropriate to do that with a foreign government. And if these meetings were standard practice, why wouldn't Don share that information? Why wouldn't Jared Kushner share that information? And as far as we've got Jeff Sessions, we've got Mike Flynn, none of whom shared information about meetings they had. Why wouldn't they share that? That's what brings us back here. The reason we know about this is because Jared didn't disclose the meeting. If it was such a nothing burger, put it on your forms.
So, number one, we have been in office for less than 6 months. In the first 125 days of this administration, there have been 126 leaks of national security information to the media. Now that's a story. That's illegal. That's felonious. But you want to talk about a 9-month campaign talk about some... Can I finish?
Sir, do you think that people in the White House aren't leaking information?
May I finish?
Please.
Can I finish? Now that's a story. 126 leaks, 7 times more than the Obama administration, and 7 times more than the Bush administration. But in the last 9 months, you and your colleagues in the fake news media, CNN, MSNBC, New York Times, Washington Post, I'm going to finish. I'm going to finish.
Excuse me. You're welcome
have not managed
to
to find one felonious piece of evidence. Not one. In 9 months. Don't you think it's time the American people were served by the media justly, and you get to national security issues like Mosul?
We're going to get to Mosul in 1 minute. Mr. Gorka, if we should go after everyone within the administration leaking information, are you not concerned that Jared Kushner himself, possibly even the president, leak information?
So you know who leaked the information? Do you have those identities?
I'm asking you. Do you believe that...
No, I'm asking you.
Well, I can't answer that, sir.
Do you know?
I know that there are people.
Why are you making
I know
those
that there are
statements?
people within the White House who leak information on a regular basis.
Well, that's impressive. You know more than we do inside the White House as to who's doing the leaking. Maybe you should talk to the authorities if you're in possession of felonious activity information.
Leaking information isn't necessarily felonious.
If it's national security, it absolutely is, and that's congressional data. 126 leaks of national security import.
Or I didn't say that it was information regarding national security.